I got a lot of special guest stars, you know, even if you're not an Ace Frehley fan, you know, there's something on there for everybody. You know, I knew this album was coming, and every time I got an idea or heard a song that I said, that might be a good one to do, I'd write it down. And, you know, maybe I had like 30 songs and try to pick ones that I think I could do live also. So, you know, that was a contributing factor in my decision. I originally wasn't that excited about it, but once I started the recording process, it just, you know, snowballed. But I'm really happy, you know, with the 9 covers and 3 remakes of Kiss songs, and I think it's a good package. I got Paul, Lita Ford, and John 5 all in one weekend. While Paul was doing the vocal on Fire and Water, I was in the studio with Warren, you know, recording Lita and John 5 the same day. And, you know, I'm really lucky that, you know, people want to play with me, and, you know, I influenced so many musicians over the years that, you know, everybody, you know, says yes when I call up. But I definitely owe some favors now. When I called Paul, he immediately was receptive to the idea and said to me he thought it would be a lot of fun. And he did an amazing vocal on Fire and Water. I got a lot of feedback from Paul during the recording process and the mixing process, and I ended up giving him co-production credit on it. Well, it was actually better than old times because I'm not loaded anymore. We really connected and saw eye to eye on a lot of the recording process. It just makes everything a lot easier when, you know, you're in sync with each other. Well, I remember the first time I heard that song, you know, I just thought that descending melody line was amazing. I love the arrangement and, you know, the bridge. It's also one of the first songs that I heard that introduced a wah-wah pedal on a guitar. In 1970, I went to see Steppenwolf at Shea Stadium with a host of other bands. It was a big peace concert, and I ended up getting backstage, and they told me to change the strings on this guitar, and I didn't even realize it was John Kay's guitar from Steppenwolf. And I started the process, and John Kay walks into the dressing room, and I thought he was going to get mad because, you know, I wasn't his normal roadie, but he actually started helping me feed the strings through the bridge so I could, you know, attach them to the tuning pegs. I immediately remembered what a cool vibe and a great pocket it had and a great chorus. And then I came up with the idea to do like a 2-minute guitar solo on the outro so I could, you know, give fans a real treat as to what it would have been like if I did play on that song, because I didn't play on the original. That almost didn't make the record because I was tracking with my drummer. We did about 5 songs, and I said, what about doing a Hendrix song? He came up with the idea for Spanish Casa Magic, and I go, that's a great song. There's only one problem. I don't know how to play it. So what we ended up doing was downloading the song off YouTube, and we put a click track to it, and Scott played drums. So then I had the drums in the can. All I needed to do was overdub all the guitars and vocals and solo. And boom, we got a song. It turned out one of the best songs on the record. I actually tried recording 2000 Man in 2009 when I was doing Anomaly, and I just didn't like the way it turned out. And when I was recording Space Invader up in Turlock, California in 2014, I took another stab at it, and I had that track in the can. So, you know, I brought it back up on the computer and started overdubbing. And then I took a crack at the vocal, and the vocal came out so good that we decided to, you know, finish that song off. But I did do one song on this record that wasn't from the 60s, and that's Emerald by Thin Lizzy, the one Slash is playing on with me. Slash said to me, Ace, why don't we just do it spontaneous? Let's both plug into a Marshall stack, and we'll just do it live. That's what happened, and that's what you hear on the record.